He who delights in subduing evil thoughts, who meditates on the impurities and is ever mindful, it is he who will make an end of craving and rend asunder Mara's fetter. He who has reached the goal is fearless, free from craving, passionless, and has plucked out the thorns of existence. For him, this is the last body. He who is free from craving and attachment is perfect in uncovering the true meaning of the teaching and knows the arrangement of the sacred texts in correct sequence. He indeed is the bearer of his final body. He is truly called the profoundly wise one, the great man. A victor am I over all have I known, yet unattached am I to all that is conquered and known. Abandoning all, I am freed through the destruction of craving. Having thus directly comprehended all by myself, whom shall I call my teacher? 23 inches. Meaning. This was the Buddha's reply to a wandering ascetic who asked him about his teacher. The Buddha's answer shows that supreme enlightenment was his own unique attainment, which he had not learned from anyone else. The gift of Dhamma excels all gifts, the taste of the Dhamma excels all tastes, the delight in Dhamma excels all delights. The craving freed vanquishes all suffering. Riches ruin only the foolish, not those in quest of the beyond. By craving for riches, the witless man ruins himself as well as others. Weeds are the bane of fields. Lust is the bane of mankind. Therefore, what is offered to those free of lust yields abundant fruit. Weeds are the bane of fields. Hatred is the bane of mankind. Therefore, what is offered to those free of hatred yields abundant fruit. Weeds are the bane of fields. Delusion is the bane of mankind. Therefore, what is offered to those free of delusion yields abundant fruit. Weeds are the bane of fields. Desire is the bane of mankind. Therefore, what is offered to those free of desire yields abundant fruit. Good is restraint over the eye. Good is restraint over the ear. Good is restraint over the nose. Good is restraint over the tongue. Good is restraint in the body. Good is restraint in speech. Good is restraint in thought. Restraint everywhere is good. The monk restrained in every way is freed from all suffering. He who has control over his hands, feet, and tongue, who is fully controlled, delights in inward development, is absorbed in meditation, keeps to himself and is contented. Him do people call a monk. That monk who has control over his tongue is moderate in speech, unassuming, and who explains the teaching in both letter and spirit. Whatever he says is pleasing. The monk who abides in the Dhamma, delights in the Dhamma, meditates on the Dhamma, and bears the Dhamma well in mind. He does not fall away from the sublime Dhamma. One should not despise what one has received, nor envy the gains of others. The monk who envies the gains of others does not attain to meditative absorption. A monk who does not despise what he has received, even though it be little, who is pure in livelihood and unremitting in effort, him even the gods praise. He who has no attachment whatsoever for the mind and body, who does not grieve for what he has not, he is truly called a monk. The monk who abides in universal love and is deeply devoted to the teaching of the Buddha attains the peace of Nibbana, the bliss of the cessation of all conditioned things. Empty this boat, O monk. Emptied it will sail lightly. Rid of lust and hatred, you shall reach Nibbana. Cut off the five, abandon the five, and cultivate the five. The monk who has overcome the five bonds is called one who has crossed the flood, meaning, the five to be cut off are the five lower fetters: self-illusion, doubt, belief in rites and rituals, lust and ill will. The five to be abandoned are the five higher fetters: craving for the divine realms with form, craving for the formless realms, conceit, restlessness, and ignorance. Stream enterers and once returners cut off the first three fetters, non-returners the next two, and arahats the last five. The 5 to be cultivated are the 5 spiritual faculties: faith, energy, mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. The 5 bonds are greed, hatred, delusion, false views, and conceit. Meditate, O monk, do not be heedless. Let not your mind whirl on sensual pleasures. Heedless, do not swallow a red-hot iron ball, lest you cry when burning, "Oh, this is painful." There is no meditative concentration for him who lacks insight, and no insight for him who lacks meditative concentration. He in whom are found both meditative concentration and insight, indeed, is close to nibbana. The monk who has retired to a solitary abode and calmed his mind, who comprehends the Dhamma with insight, in him there arises a delight that transcends all human delights. Whenever he sees with insight the rise and fall of the aggregates, he is full of joy and happiness. To the discerning one, this reflects the deathless. Control of the senses, contentment, restraint according to the code of monastic discipline, these form the basis of holy life here for the wise monk. Thanks you everyone for watching video.